Old men playing World of Tanks. Hey everybody, Four Tankers and Dog here. We are rolling out today in another unusual vehicle. I'm kind of having fun going through some replays on this. I just did the recording for the M46 Patton. This time the AMX 5120. Fantastic forgotten vehicle that nobody plays anymore. It's fantastic for a number of reasons. And so, number one is back in the day when I used to play esports a bunch, you know, the teams when they match up, usually you don't just take, 7 or however many tier 10 vehicles. Oftentimes you have points limits that require some creativity in your team lineup. And so the AMX 5120 is a tier 9 vehicle that has exactly the same gun as the 50B. Now, of course, the reload isn't as good. I don't think it's as accurate. The vehicle isn't as fast. The vehicle isn't as good as ramming, although it is still pretty good at ramming. If you have one of those heavy tank ramming missions, 5120 and the 50B are fantastic for that. But anyway, the gun itself, the penetration, the damage, the 4-shot clip is the same between the 5120 and the 50B. Again, the reloads, the handling, and the packaging are not as good. It's not as good as the 50B. But it is a really good tank. That's one of the things that I really look for in World of Tanks and vehicles that are keepers. Is I like guns. Tank destroyers tend to have like one tier higher gun, right? They tend to have really good penetration for their tier. They tend to just be excellent guns. And then you have the compromises of the chassis, of having no turret, of various weaknesses of tank destroyers and compromises. With the 5120, you kind of have a higher tier gun. With, at this tier, tier 9, great penetration, fantastic, 390 damage, a clip that'll dump out 1200 damage, right? No, it's 4 times 390, so it's closer to 1600 damage. It's fantastic clip. It's just a wonderful one, and the vehicle is highly mobile. It's not as quick as a 50B, but still, it can keep up with the medium tanks. And so, sure, it's big as a barn, but when it comes to jumping out and ambushing the opponents and throwing a clip into somebody and then running away and go to some other flank and reload and then pop out and do it again to somebody else, and you do that and rinse and repeat. It's that total autoloader mentality. That's what I want to talk about in this battle, is that autoloader mentality where, sure, auto reloaders are great. They're probably the most OP type of gun system in the game because you have standard shots and then you have a clip in case you get pushed or you want to, secure a kill on somebody or whatever. But the autoloader, a classic autoloader, gives you a break to stop and think. And it forces you to stop and think. So I'm coming on over here to the 2 line. I'm going to go ahead and use my gun depression, use my mobility. I'm right here with an object 140. I'm going to pull on up here with my clip. I do get lit by some asshole down there at D4 probably. So they know I'm coming. I'm okay with that. You can expose yourself basically to aim at anything crossing A2 without really overexposing yourself to B3. That being said, if the enemy is stupid and they stick their neck out, well, we've got a clip. Now, it's very important not to get autoloader greed with the 5120 because now that shot was shit, but he kind of stands there. What is he thinking? I track him, and go ahead and take one more, and I retrack him, and now I'm going to back up. I'm not going to take the 4th shot. Be careful with autoloader greed, because the reload is terrible. The reload between shots, I think it's like 3.5, 4 seconds. And so it's really easy to screw yourself if you just hang out there in the wind and try to get your last shot in, because it basically has no armor. But now I've got like a 30-second reload, and so now, essentially, as soon as I was done, and as soon as I went dark, I was like, where can I go be useful? Make sure you go dark, because I knew I got lit the last time. I don't want anybody pre-aiming on me as I'm coming back out and around. Again, that being said, we're reloading, we're looking around, and look at that. It's just Beef Supreme guarding the opposite flank down there on where the Artie is. So that's where I'm going. He's crying for help. And so as I do my reload, I use my excellent mobility. I'm doing 65 here, and I go rocketing back over to go ahead and back him up. Right? That's the autoloader move. You take your clip, you throw it at somebody, you surprise them, you get hopefully 2-3 shots of damage, and then you fuck off and you go do something else. And, well, sure enough, there's a Barask. Now, one of the things, I just did my video on crew skills. And I actually talked about why I like having some camo on my heavy tanks, even my biggest, heavy tanks. But actually, that ended up on the cutting room floor, and so people commented like, "Why would you have camo on your heavy tanks?" So if you have at least a little bit of camo, and I try to have at least 50% camo on my heavy tanks, you can probably pull up to a bush like this and not get lit if that Barask peeks around the corner. The second thing, there are times when you're the light tank and you pull up in your favorite bush and you light some sad sack of a heavy tank out there at 445 meters. Like they have no camo, and you light them up way across the map and they just get smashed to pieces by your allies on Lakeville or Prokhorovka or something. Don't be that guy. Have some camo. Put some paint on your heavy tanks. Just because its camo is shit doesn't mean it's better. It's not better being less shit. We're going to pre-aim our shot. We see him coming up, so we're pre-aiming our shot to go ahead and start zooming in because we're hoping he peeks out in front of our gun. Sure enough, we get our chance to get a shot in. We do get lit, so it goes. We go ahead and move in towards the rocks here so the Barask can't peek out and double tap us. We're all clear on being lit, so we're going to go ahead and come around here. We still have 3 shots. We're not going to reload yet. I'm hoping to get some more into the Barask, the Prog. Bit of a pucker factor here, crossing over here, right? Somebody lit me for my presumed D4 over here to D2, right? A couple of squares worth. Am I going to get lit as I cross around here? Will I get shot in the ass by tank destroyers over here by the enemy cap circle? That is something I'm about to find out. And will, of course, stumble into the face of a Prog 46. Well, I do get lit, but that's at the same moment that there's the Barask. Let's go ahead and get one into him. Can we get a second one? We do get a second into him. That is juicy. It would be wonderful to get a third, but that's not going to happen. I'm going to hold it here for a second just in case the Prog lights us and comes in and tries to get us. Also, I'm trying to stay right here, so I can't get shot from their TD position right here. Their scout tank, which again I think might be a D4, he might be tempted to shoot me, but then he would get lit, right? So, again, I'd rather be shot by a little light tank down here than, who the hell knows, a Foch 155 if he's up here. Oh, he's been lit before. Still a WZ 113. That would really hurt if he shot me from up on top of the hill here. So I'm trying to not let the Barask shoot me. I'm trying to hold one shell just in case the Prog rushes me. I'm kind of waiting a little bit until I go dark, and then we need to get out of here. Again, that's the autoloader thing. Once you are dark, I go ahead and hit the reload, and now let's go ahead and egress and get out of here. And again, we look at the map and we think, okay, what are we going to do now? We just took the teeth out of the attack that was on Beef Supreme over here, plus some allies came back to help him out. The Barask is a one-shot now. That's great. The Progetto is a problem, but the Barask is really weak. So they're struggling here. So I'm kind of switching back towards the heavy zone, kind of trying to think, okay, I figure I'm going to switch over. And one of the things I do sometimes is I look at the heavy zone. Can I zoom in properly? So sometimes the enemy team is winning the heavy zone. They'll come over here and not realize they can be shot from back at the green cap circle. So that can be really helpful, and vice versa. Sometimes you come over here and there's some guy way out there beyond the guys in front of you that you can just totally nail easy peasy. Anyway, we all have this, but the T-30 arrives. I think I was double clutching and kind of turning around as I reloaded and was like, okay, maybe we can push the Barask out of the corner and flank around this Prog on the beach side of things. But no, that T-30 is going to change everything. Why is it a problem? The T-30 is turning the corner on our heavy tanks there, right? So our guys on the 2 line are now pinched in between the T-30 and their AMX and their EE Phase 1 and stuff. He could unhinge everything because basically half of our tanks there on the 2 line are going to turn around and they're going to face towards the T-30. So I come rolling in here, full steam. Both the Prog and the Barask get shots into me. I had full hit points, but I'm obviously losing it quick. The T-30 is right there, and let's see, is anybody keeping him distracted, or is he going to turn and shoot me? He might turn and shoot me. Let's see what happens. He is tracked. Somebody nailed him. We get 1 into him. We get 2 into him. He rushes his shot, and he misses me, and we get the kill shot. Now, the Prog is coming for us, right? We know that, definitely. We've got one more shot in our clip. We do not want to back up too much. There's an AT-15 here. There is also, again, perhaps the 54 lightweight at D4, right? It could have been the T-30 that lit us. It maybe isn't. I don't really know. But basically we want to hug this rock as tight as possible and reduce our exposure from all angles. Nonetheless, ultimately we secured the rear of our guys in the 2 line there, which was absolutely critical. Prague gets 1 shot into us. We go ahead and give him a love tap. He is wrecking us hard. That was 3 shots into us. We're going to back up. And is he going to take his shot? Oh, he's getting hit by beef. He's getting hit by my allies. He goes down and we're still alive. We're still alive. Now let's not peek out and get shot by the Barask. Although Barask is on the move and it's very inaccurate. So the odds of him snapshotting me are a little low. He goes down too. Hit points are tied, but we're up by 3 gun barrels. That was awesome. Essentially, right? Well, they just lost 2 more gun barrels, so we're up by. We're way up. So our whole push over here has now been nullified. We appear to be winning in the heavy zone, or at least holding our own. And now we've got medium tanks and light tanks that can go ahead and push home their advantage over here on the beach side of things. While we lick our wounds, we reload. We make a mistake here. We reloaded a 2-shot clip. I'm kind of thinking back here. Did I load premium ammo at the start for the heavy zone and then never switch back to AP? I think I did. Sure didn't need APCR on the Barask or the Prague or even the side of the T-30. So that was definitely a bit of a misplay, and that'll cost us on our profits. But what do you do? A bigger misplay here is reloading with only 2 shells. And so I'm not going to realize it until I need him, and that's not the time to realize it. So we're dark now, we think. We go ahead and move over behind here. We get lit again. I swear, there is somebody there at D4. We're going to stay behind the rocks here. We're just basically trying to provide some fire support. There he is. He just lit up. Fire support for our allies. The 54 lightweight will almost definitely be moving off or aiming at somebody else. So we're going to go ahead and peek out here and try to get our 2 shots into him. Gotta settle my shots better. The gun handling is not. Oh, he's dead as he was dark. We didn't get the kill there, but the Beef Supreme shut him down after he went dark. That was sweet. So now I'm reloading, and if I had 2 more shells to AT-15, it would be glorious. I've gone dark. I'm going to go ahead and move in and essentially try to get in behind and underneath the AT-15 and move in closer to get underneath the T-30 and the AE Phase 1. There is still a WZ-113 GFT out there somewhere, but Lord the hell knows where he is. But I'm thinking I can either sneak it behind the AE Phase 1 or the T-30 or get behind the AT-15. There, we lock on the auto aim and we nail him. But there is the WZ. Oh, crap. So the first thing I think is I want to move towards him as fast as possible, get underneath his gun line, right? Make him either really stick his neck out to aim at me or just miss me above my head. Second thing is I want to distract him. So I'm going to lock on my auto aim to him, and I've got 3 more shells in the tube. Might as well use him. At least I might hit him, I might hurt him, I might distract him, right? So we're just going to lock on our auto aim and just start firing while we move towards him and get as low. In fact, we hit him there. We didn't penetrate him, but still, I'll take it. As soon as he's no longer able to shoot us, we go ahead and hit the reload and start getting a fresh set of 4 shells in the tube so we can hopefully get that AE Phase 1 from behind. And we're moving up through the rocks here. There's not a lot left. We're probably already safe here. The WZ could come down on top of my head, which would be kind of hilarious, but we kind of move him out of position. We're just waiting to finish up our reload and peek out on Mr. AE Phase 1. Will my gun handling let me down this time? Nope. There's a 3rd kill for us, and there is the WZ. We'll go ahead and hold our 3 shells. Again, he might just, come right down on me, which is no big deal. The game's won at this point, but... Well, actually, we're not up by a lot of hit points, honestly. If he comes over on me, I want to really hurt him. If nothing else. He's got 2,000 hit points. He has 1,808 hit points. The 1390 is harassing him from behind now. We're going to go ahead and come up around the corner here and see if we can help out the 1390. 1390 appears to be out of shells. The guy up on the hill just died. The T92 might get me, of course. Let's go ahead and see if we can get his tracks. Oh, I'm totally not getting those initial snapshots. Try again. He's not looking at us. Going for the tracks. Going for the tracks. There we go. And we're out. Damn it. Well, you know, I shouldn't have backed up there. I should have just pressed forward and got for ramming speed. But the Minotauro's coming. I'll go ahead and let him take the hit. And then maybe... There, he fired. Full speed, ramming speed! Oh! No, wasn't good enough. Minotauro gets him. 4,600 damage, though. Not too shabby at all for an old rusty rust bucket like an AMX 5120. Let's go ahead and look at the post-game stats. 19 shots fired, only 14 hits and 13 pens. Really could have actually done a little better by letting those first initial shots on several clips settle a bit. You know, what I often do is basically I throw the first shell as soon as possible and then aim in as I reload the second shell. And that works fine. Obviously, it worked out A-okay, but just a little careful aiming would have done me better. And of course, not screwing up that reload. But that was good enough for 4.6k. And that's certainly excellent for a tier 9 heavy tank. Assisted for a single shot of damage from somebody or other. We did get hit a bunch and we almost died, but almost is not dead. You know, an autoloader with 1 hit point is a very deadly foe still in the game. Tops in XP, almost tops in damage, second highest, also second highest in kills as well. Not a bad game at all for a tier 9 and a tier 10, well, mid-tier and a tier 9, 8, 9, 10 battle, it looks like. Brother and Beef were also right up there in the top 5, so that was excellent here. Our 1390 did a great amount of damage there, 1,500 damage. Not too shabby. Our ISU didn't do great, but that is definitely a bit of a hit and miss kind of tank here. Our Death Star only got in 1 shot of damage. That could have been better. Hell, our T-34 did 1,200. That's great. Bottom tier in a tier 10 battle. Good going, T-34. I actually love my T-34 Black. Again, a vehicle with a really, really, really good gun. Good damage, great penetration. It's a fantastic, and great turret armor, right? If you can be in a position where the enemy team can't rush you and you can just kind of farm their damage 400 at a time. It's 400, isn't it? 400 at a time. Again, great penetration. T-34 is a great vehicle. On the enemy team, let's see here. Their AE Phase 1 did fantastic. Wow, 3.4k bounced. Man, he was really working a ridge there somewhere there. Oh yeah, we killed him, didn't we? So he was working that ridge there in the heavy zone there at, what is it? You have A, B, so like B3 or so, right? The Brask did good, 1,300 damage here. The Prague got 1,200, but nobody really kind of broke out into great amounts here. 54 Lightweight got 1,500 damage, but you know he needed to do maybe a little bit better than that. AT-15 driving through the field was hilarious. Yeah, it's pretty funny. The Foch, 1 hit of damage for the Foch. Dude, that's not so hot. Artie did 1,000 damage, and he was 3rd from the bottom. What are you going to do? Not a bad game at all. That was good enough for a first class. With a fire for effect, a bruiser, and a hand of God. By, what is that? Surviving to win the battle, having received damage from at least 4 different enemy vehicles. Sure, yeah. Everybody wanted a piece of the AMX 5120. Lots of critical hits, lots of damage, 3 kills. We even bounced the shell from the Centurion AX. Great battle with a vehicle that really has kind of lost its shine a bit, but it's great. Do I still have my 50B? I'm not even sure I have my 50B anymore, but I still have my AMX 5120. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you appreciate content like this, please like, please subscribe, please share this. And as always, good hunting and carry hard.